2, 0.
Hi, this is going to be Yoga with Rose. This is a normal class that I do for the 50 plus class or the class that I do on Thursday, which is a little bit more advanced. We'll be doing Anusara Yoga, and this month we have been working with the word ahimsa, which is nonviolence, kind of an unusual situation given the fact that we have so much compassion that we need to bring to the world at any given point in time, but here we are in a situation where it's even more important. So we're going to be settling in. I hope that you have a blanket or sitting in a way that supports your lower back. We're always working with the low back, making sure that we have a low back curve. We're not tucking our tailbone under, which is not healthy for the low back. So bringing yourself up, finding the right position for you to go into meditation. A little centering in the beginning of the class. We're going to open the compassion center as well. But to begin with, let's just bring ourselves, our energy together. Bring your breath down into the belly. Close your eyes as we find our way into a place of self-acceptance. Letting the breath move down into the belly and feeling the sits bones into the earth, and letting the earth be in your legs as well. So we're feeling grounded in the day, grounded in our practice. This is a time of really letting the yoga practice come into our everyday life. So taking the energy from the mat, off the mat, and into our world. So let the breath move all the way down and just take a few cleansing breaths and increase the breath time with 4 very long counts. So inhale right down into the belly and then exhale out that same long 4 counts. Just allow yourself to feel the breath. Feel your mind begin to quiet and bring yourself right here, right back into the mat and into your inner landscape. Keeping the breath long and deep. And just allowing yourself to feel calm, to feel the way that it is to be in your center. Letting the breath bring you into your midline, that center line within you. Let the breath move on that line. Now that we've been here for a while, feel the sits bones onto the floor and then let the belly, engage the belly in towards the spine and up towards the heart, and we lengthen up. Feel your whole body begin to expand with the breath. Now bring your breath into the belly, then let it rise all the way up to the lungs, and then from there all the way up to the base of the neck. You want to hold at the very top of the inhale, and then exhale out from the throat, down into the lungs, and then again into the belly. And now imagine at your heart center, right between your breasts, that you have a pink light that's glowing. And just feel that pink light from your heart. And then bring this pink light up to your 5th chakra, right at the nape of your neck, in the form of an infinity sign or a sign of 8, going back and forth, just allowing this pink light to move freely in the form of the infinity up to your throat and back to your heart. As we open our own compassion center, when we give ourselves time to just be the best who we are, then we can offer that out into the world to others around us. Probably need it more during this time. Give it to yourself first. Let you be the leader, bringing this compassion in, and then just breathing into that center, that compassion center right between your fourth and your fifth chakra. Just knowing that together, even though I am virtual to you, I am imagining all of you in front of me, and have to say how much I miss everyone. So it is wonderful to be able to at least connect on this level during this time when we all need the support. So with your next exhale, allow the chin to come down towards that compassion center, towards your chest. You're going to feel some tension. You're going to feel whatever you might be holding in the shoulders and the neck, and just breathe your way into that. Don't judge it, just notice it and allow it to relax, letting the breath just do its work. Then release your hands and bring your hands to either side of your hips, and then lift your arms and lift your gaze in the seated sun breath. And return the palms and exhale with your fingertips down, and then your chin to your chest. And then the palms roll upward again all the way. And then turn the palms and exhale, fingerprints down, chin to your chest. 2 more times. Palms roll all the way up. Turn the palms and exhale. And last time, palms roll all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head, then down to your heart center as we close the eyes for a moment and breathe into your own inner landscape. And just feel the way that this deeper breath brings us into the sacred space of you. That you're honoring ahimsa, compassion, benevolence inside of you through this yoga practice, through your everyday actions. Let's open up our eyes, and before we come off of our seat, let's bring our hands back to the floor with the left hand onto the floor. Right arm reaches up and we're stretching. So gentle stretch, side stretch. Keep your right hip down as you press your fingers to the opposite wall, and then release and come all the way back down, and left arm reaches and stretches. Again, rooting the left hip down and just breathing into the side body. Just one more time. Right arm reaches up and over, feeling the breath move through the body, and then release, and then left arm reaches and stretches. And then come all the way back to center, sits bones onto the floor, lift all the way up, and bring your fingers forward. A nice deep breath. And as you do that, just come to your edge, keeping your sits bones onto the floor. And then wherever you are, just let your head go down towards the earth and breathe into your back body with a nice deep breath. Just stay with this deeper breath, and then pressing into your fingers, continue to roll all the way back up into the seated pose. Then come off of your pillow, if you were on it, come all the way up into a standing pose. Arms are going to reach all the way up as we exhale and fold. Shins go slightly forward, thighs back, head down towards the floor, and then arms swing out again, all the way up. And then exhale and fold. Shins go slightly forward, thighs back, head down. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, coming to a flat back. And then exhale, release, come all the way back down. And once again, press into the feet as we come all the way up. Clasp your hands on top of your head and then reach all the way up. Find your feet parallel to one another. hips width apart. Exhale over to the right. And then inhale all the way up and then to the left. And inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up and exhale left. Just breathing in. Inhale up one more time. Exhale right. Inhale up and then left. And then slowly begin the journey all the way back down. Good. And then shake that out. All right. I am going to have to take this off as I normally do in class. Here we are. All right. Coming all the way back to center, you're going to take the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and arms are going to reach out. You're going to feel the tips of your shoulder blade coming together. So feel that the back body is alive and open as we come into a T pose. And then don't let your hands just flop. Let them feel the light. Let them feel the growth and the way in which we are standing in our power at this time. Full of compassion. Arms reach all the way up. From the tips of the shoulder blade, work your arms up over your head, then back to the T. Good. And then bring your arms across so that the right is over the left. Cross elbow to elbow. Bring them all the way up, back into a Gargyasana. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, breathing into the back body. Inhale up. And exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, release. And then unfurl that, let your arms shake, go all the way back out into your power wings in front, into the T position, and then cross your left over the right this time, bringing your hands up. Exhale, inhale up, and then exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Inhale up, exhale down, and last time. Inhale up, exhale down. Release with your arms, bring them all the way back and just shake them out. Coming to the top of the mat, arms reach all the way up. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up, and then come into a runner stretch. Toes onto the floor, heel up. Take a nice deep breath. Don't land onto your thighs. You're going to lift up, breathing into your back body. Feel your back body open and expand. Heel up towards the ceiling. Top of the thigh presses back. And you're breathing. Nice deep breath. And bring your right up to meet the left. Head goes down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way up as we come back to a standing Tadasana. And then exhale and fold again. Shins go forward, thighs back, head down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway up again. Ardha Uttanasana, engage your belly. Did you see that action? Engage your belly. Right, left leg goes back behind. Hands right by your feet. Heel up towards the ceiling and back towards the wall behind you. Taking a nice deep breath. Breathing into the runner stretch. Then bring your right foot up, left foot up to meet the right. Head down towards the floor. Arms swing all the way up. Hands go to pray over your head and then down to the heart again. Nice deep breath. So coming all the way onto the floor, let's come into the table pose. Fingerprints down back of the palm, knuckles down. So you're going to let the belly not go down towards the earth. You're lifting it up. Let the tailbone move the action. Tailbone goes down and then round the back into cat. And again, let the tailbone start the action. Head is the last thing to move. Tailbone goes up, work through the spine, and then the head is the last to lift. And then tailbone goes down, coming back into the cat, and then release, tailbone up, head up towards the ceiling. One more time. Exhale, tailbone down. Inhale and release. Coming all the way back to a cow. Let your belly move down towards the earth this time. Let the tailbone move up towards the ceiling. So you're accentuating the action. with a nice deep breath. And then let the tailbone go down slightly so you find the neutral spine. Let your knees go out to the side, toes together, roll back, extension, extended child, and breathe with a nice deep breath. So let your body feel the stretch. Let your body feel the breath moving through your body. Feel breathing right into the lower part of your back. And then from the lower part of the back, move the breath to the top of your head, and from the top of your head back to your lower back. Just breathing in a nice deep breath. Good. And then coming back into the table pose, curl your toes under. Press back into a bowing Vajrasana. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down. Wiggle your hips back behind you. Keeping your toes onto the floor, pressing into your hands. Lift your knees. Don't come forward. And come into the first downward dog, keeping the thighs back behind you. Walking the dog, one heel up, one heel down. And the belly up towards the spine. Fingerprints down, back of the palm, knuckles down. And then walking your feet and walking your hands and come back to an Uttanasana. And then arms reach all the way up, coming back to a Tadasana and hands to your heart. Taking a nice deep breath. Just breathing in, feeling your heart open and expand. Here we are in the practice. Okay, so coming all the way back down, bring the right leg back behind you. This time we're going to lift up, so find your energy right in between your legs. Hands always are right by your feet. Lift your right heel up, press it back, find your hand onto the left knee. Keeping the right thigh from collapsing down. Bring it all the way back, heel back, breathing into the back body, lifting and expanding. Then take the left hip back a little bit more, but keep the right thigh from collapsing, lifting it up. Nice deep breath. Hands onto the floor. Switch your feet, right leg forward, left leg back this time. Finding that same energy right between your legs, press into the back feet. So the back heel goes towards the wall behind, up and back. Left thigh continues to lift, bringing the right hip down slightly. And breathe. A nice deep breath. This time let's add the arms all the way up. Taking a nice deep breath. Good, then release, come all the way down. The left foot comes up to meet the right, head down towards the floor. Arms swing out to the side as we inhale all the way up. Hands go to prayer over your head and then down to the heart. Okay, right leg forward, left leg back. Here we go. Keeping your hips square, not going sideways or any other way, straight forward. Parallel to the short side of the mat, head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back without getting the chest to move, just here. Here, here. Head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. You want to make it so that your energy is right in between your legs. Clasp the hands behind, move the head of the arm bone up and back again, and then come forward. Feet parallel to the long side of the mat, head down towards the floor. Pressing into the feet. Oh, I'm sorry, got a little off balance there, coming all the way back up. Nice deep breath. Parvottanasana, left leg forward, right leg back. Find your energy right in between your legs. Hug the midline. I wasn't hugging enough. Move the hip, the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And once again, right heel is onto the floor. Feel the right heel as you come forward. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Good. And shake that out. Nice deep breath. Take for a moment, standing Tadasana, close your eyes. Just feel the energy of that pose moving through your body. Good. And then release, coming all the way back into the table pose. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down, right leg goes straight back behind you. Toes dial down towards the earth, heel up towards the ceiling, come into a full pointer. Nice deep breath. For some in the class, you're going to bend your knee and grab the shoelace part of your foot. Move the left head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. And come into a quad stretch. Then we're all going to meet back to the pointer. And then release and come all the way down. Left leg reaches. Right arm straight. You're going to hold this, or you're bending at the knee, bringing your shoelace part of your foot, holding onto that. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and then letting the knee press back behind you. Taking a nice deep breath. And then release that, come back to a full pointer, and then come all the way back down. Right leg straight back behind you again, nose in, knee in, stretch it out. Nose in, knee in, and stretch. Nose in, knee in, stretch. And last time, nose in, knee in, and stretch. Come all the way back. Left leg reaches, nose in, knee in, stretch. Nose in, knee in, and stretch. And last time, nose in, knee in, and stretch. Come all the way onto the floor. Letting your hands, the elbows, go underneath the head of the arm bone. Toes stretch back behind. Move the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. So you're not rolling forward. It's a very subtle but small movement of getting the head of the arm bone away from your clavicle. Then lift all the way up. Toes stretch behind you. Nice deep breath. So if you're feeling the sphinx at all in the lower back, press your knees, your feet towards the wall behind you. Get a little more opening through your chest. Now take the elbow and bring the elbow in towards your waist. It'll allow your heart to come a little more forward with a nice deep breath. From here, we're going to release and come all the way down. Let your hands go out to the side. So we're in a spider bhunjangasana. Let me see if I can do it this way, might be better. You might see it better. Spider bhunjangasana. Here I am. And the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and lift all the way up. Nice deep breath. You miss me. I miss all of you. Nice deep breath. And then release and come all the way back down. From here, come into the table pose, fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles down. We're going to do it this way. Curl the toes under. Come back to the bowing Vajrasana. I love this. It's like a cat pouncing, right? You're ready for action. Toes down, fingers down. Lift your knees up. See how I'm not coming forward? You're going to press your hips all the way back, lifting up into a downward facing dog without collapsing your arms, lifting all the way up, taking the thighs back. Lift the right leg up. Toes down towards the earth, heel up towards the ceiling. Belly's not drooping down. Bring the belly up. Even if it means, you see that action means bringing the thighs back, the leg back a little bit. Engage the belly. Stack the hips one on top of the other without collapsing your left shoulder. Bend the knee. Come into a dancing dog. Come back to a three-legged dog. And then all the way back down. Let's come into a kneeling pose. Knees out to side, toes together, roll back, extended child. You may need a break. Taking a nice deep breath. Woo. Nice deep breath, breathing in. Feeling your heart beating and knowing how we are moving this energy, really expanding your lungs, working the lungs, making that connection, hugging the midline, all the things that support ahimsa, non-violence. Other side, coming back, fingerprints down, and do bowing Vajrasana again, curl the toes, because you can opt not to, but I love this pose. Fingerprints down, back of the palm knuckles, hips back to the wall behind, toes down, lift. This time it's the left leg lifting. And toes to the earth, heel up towards the ceiling. Again, you can stretch, 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 but you see how your belly will go down. Let the belly go up. Connect the heel with your belly right there. Heel and belly. Whoops, here we go. Fingerprints down. Stack the hips one on top of the other. You watch my right shoulder. See how my right shoulder collapses. Hold it up. Hold the right shoulder up. Stack the hips with the waist. Bend at the knee. Dancing dog. Nice deep breath. See that little action? So I have to really work to keep the head of the arm bone up. Keep the twist in my waist. Come back to a three-legged dog. Watch your belly and the core, and then bring that all the way down. From here, if it is in your practice to bring your leg all the way through to Ekapada Rajakapatasana, or the pigeon pose, then do. And if not, to table pose, left leg up. So from here, we're stretching the right leg back, coming a little higher up. And again, you see, I have a bit of Sambhasana here. You're going to move the head of the arm up toward the ear and back, and then bring your head back in line. So the head isn't going forward, and that's going back. The head is in line with your spine. Nice deep breath. Hips are square to the short side of your mat. So bring your right hip forward, like someone is taking their hands, bringing their right hip forward, left hip back, and breathing. Nice deep breath. From here, bring your right hand to the center, left hand on your hip, and rotate. And breathe. Then release, come all the way back down, opposite. Left hand, right hand onto your hip, left hand in the middle, and rotate. Good, then come all the way back down. Come into a forward fold, but not a sleepy pigeon where you're all just hanging out. I want you to lift up, engage your belly, lengthen through the spine, breathe through the spine. Keep your right toes onto the floor, press your heel back, then move the right hip forward, left hip back. Now there's a stretch. Nice deep stretch. Breathe into it. Be where you are in your poses. Remember that they're there to, you're having a relationship with your pose. They're there to teach you something. Oftentimes it's patience to be where you are. And that's a good lesson. Then release that, come all the way back, curl your right toes under, sweep back into downward facing dog. Other side. So we're going to bring the right leg forward, left leg back this time. Taking a nice deep breath. Takes a little bit to find your right place. It's an inner spiral, the left leg up. Toes are going to help you do that as you square your leg, heel back. Let the top of the thigh go down as you bring your inner groin up towards the ceiling. The nice deep breath. Now take the right hip back, left hip forward, breathing in. Nice deep breath. So we move the hips We work the legs and the feet to create the stretch. Head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Head has a play here. You don't want your head to go forward. That disengages your belly. Bring your head back and press like someone has a hand to press your head back. It'll help you engage your belly, which you need to actually work your hip and the muscles around your hips. So I'm going to bring the left hand forward, right hand onto the hip to create a twist. A nice deep breath. Then release, come all the way back. Right hand in the center, left hand. And when I bring my left hand to my back, I'm actually pressing my left hip down slightly. Just bringing the left hip forward a little bit more. Then release, come all the way back down. And again, let's go to table, fingerprints down back of the palm knuckles, or sweep all the way up to downward facing dog. Come forward into plank. Nice deep breath. You don't want your hips down here. You want your hips up, pressing your heel back, but it's not dog, so it's somewhere in between. Nice deep breath, and then bring your elbows on. Bend your elbows, come all the way onto the floor. Stack your feet onto the floor, hands in front, and then forehead onto the floor as you take a nice deep breath. And again, just breathing your way into your experience, to your edge, finding your way into your inner landscape, and taking a nice deep breath in. Here onto the floor, and take a nice breath as we go into one more quad stretch. So if your quads are really tight, you're going to bend at your right knee, bring your right hand across, staying down here, and then holding the shoelace part of the foot, moving the right head of the arm bone up and back. Can you see that's going down, up and back? Press your heel in towards your hips. If you are feeling like that's not giving you anything of a stretch, you're lifting up, you're bringing your elbows underneath, you're parallel, your arm is parallel to the short side of the mat. You're lifting up and then pressing in. Wherever you are in your practice, just find the right place for you, and then release that, come back to your place, whether that's down onto the floor, full belly onto the floor, bending your left, at your left knee, holding the shoelace part of your foot with the left hand, moving again, the left head of the arm bone up and back, and finding the stretch, bringing your heel in towards your hips, or you're lifting up. Your forearm is parallel to the short side of the mat, and we're getting a deeper quad stretch. Just breathing in. Nice deep breath. Always the deep breath. And then release that, come all the way back. Come into the table pose, and then find your way into a seated pose, so that both legs are straight out. Come into Baddha Konasana. So feet are together. And you're going to find again that low back curve. So instead of tucking under like this, if you have that, you're going to have to bring a little pillow underneath. But begin to feel like you're taking your torso in front of your hips. We'll begin to do that by lengthening up through the spine. Again, moving the head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and then taking your heart forward. and then inhaling up. And then again, take your heart forward. You're not going to move far, but you're just breathing into some of the tighter parts of our body, inner groins, lower part of the back, and stretch. Now, if you bring your head forward this way, you're rounded, you're not going to get to here. So we've got to find where in your body you are upright enough, engaging your belly, and allowing the head to be a part of this, which will help the belly engage. That means pressing back slightly, just feeling your head engage, not just going forward here, but lifting up, then bring your heart forward. And then inhale up. And then exhale and come forward again. And inhale up. 2 more times. Exhale forward. And inhale up. And last time, exhale forward and inhale up. So a little core work by bringing our legs up into Navasana, the boat pose. Spread your toes. Don't let your legs just kind of hang out here. Spreading the toes, lifting all the way up, moving the head of the arm bone up toward the ear back. So you're not rounded here, putting a lot of pressure in the upper part of your back. You're extending, finding balance, spreading your toes and breathing. Now from here, you can stay right here. That's fine. You can release your hands. You can let your legs stretch and come into a more wide version of the pose. Gaze up and then come all the way back in again. Right leg lifts. And then releases, left leg lifts. And releases. One more time, right leg lifts. And release, left leg lifts. And release. And for those that want to go a little bit further, a little crazier, you're going to bring your hands to your toes. Press your toe into your hand, hand into the toe. Take one leg up and then the other in Ubhaya Padangustasana, the seagull pose. Nice deep breath. Bringing it all the way back in again. Good. And coming back into the seated pose, legs straight out. What we do in inner spiral, in Anusara, it is more than just lifting the butt up and getting the butt cheek down. You're turning the whole top of your thigh. Can you see that difference? Inhaling all the way up and bringing a nice deep breath. Just come forward, walking your hands forward. Keeping a flat back. Let me see if this is a better way of doing it. Keeping a flat back, not rounding here. Flat. Then come forward. Engage the belly. Nice deep breath. And then inhale up. So form of Paschimottanasana. And inhale up. Just one more time. Exhale forward. And inhale up. We're going to move into Janu Shirsasana by taking your right leg out to the side, bringing it in towards center. Here you've got a V. So your leg is parallel. Here you're going to rotate your torso. So now your torso is right over your hips. And again, with that same flat back that we just experienced, you're going to come forward. Breathing in, and a nice deep breath. Then we're going to lift all the way back up. Rotate this time so that your shoulders are parallel to your short side of the mat. And we'll lift the right arm all the way up. Create stability in your right hip by keeping your belly engaged, pressing down, lifting the arm, right arm all the way up, crossing it over onto the outside of your left foot. Shins in, hold that, lift all the way up, and then come forward with a nice deep breath. And you may find your toes, you may find other parts of your body, but wherever you are, I want you to lift up Connect and bring your belly in towards the spine, hips down towards the earth. Then from there, come forward. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Just one more way of stretching. You're going to bring your elbow into the knee. This is your left leg, left arm into the leg. Move the left head of the arm bone up toward the ear and back. Add your hand to your heart center. As you're honoring ahimsa. Rotate the torso up towards the ceiling. And just feel that stretch. You might be hearing little bits of things going on in your spine, little cracking. Then you're going to add the right arm up, and your right arm is going to reach for your toes. You may not reach. See, I'm not reaching. I'm not there. But I'm holding the line of elbow into leg, leg into elbow, which is helping me rotate the torso. Breathing in. Nice deep breath. And then releasing your right hand, come all the way down. And this is where you might find your leg, where you're walking your hands, cross your right hand onto the outside of your left leg, and you might find the edge of your foot or the outside of your leg. Either way, you're going to hug in, rotate, look underneath, which will bring you to a deeper stretch in the lower part of your right back. And a nice deep breath. And then release that and come all the way back up. Bring your legs back together into Paschimottanasana, inner spiral. You want to open up the lower back, which we were just stretching, and then release, come all the way forward. Hands might find your feet. Inhale into a flat back, head of the ear bone up and back, and then let your whole torso go down towards the earth. Again, creating the flat back. Here we go. Nice deep breath. Both connecting and feeling our way into the pose. And then inhale and come all the way back up, other side. So this time we got the right leg coming forward. I'll try to stay on the screen. Left foot in, go sideways, go into the V. So now your hips and your shoulders are over one another. Make sure that your head is part of the mix. This side, let's take the hand behind the head. Press your head into your hand into your head, and notice how that engages your belly. You want, this is called skull loop in our world, Anusara. Skull loop, press hand into head, head into hand, engaging your belly, getting the tips of the shoulder blade behind your back, and then take that forward in a stretch. Keeping the hips down towards the earth. You don't want your hips lifting up. You want them down. And that, I find, is controlled with the belly in my feet. Spreading my toes, spreading my feet, keeping shins in, and then thighs settle down towards the earth. Hamstrings settling inner spiral so that the 3 hamstrings are settled onto the earth, and then just take that forward. Nice deep breath. Inhale and come all the way back up. Again, just finding the root. You're going to rotate your torso. So now I'm headed straight towards you. Taking your left arm all the way up, you're going to cross your left hand onto the outside of your right leg. Once again, moving the head of the arm, and you don't want to come forward. Keep your heart open. Think about your open chest, heart open. Then let your hands go down your legs. Create a stretch here. Nice deep breath. Breathing in, keeping the left hip down as well as you create the rotation. So the left side of your rib cage is coming in to center. Right side is moving away. So think of the rib cage itself moving towards center and then taking that whole torso forward. Inhale, coming all the way back up, twist, going to take your right arm into your leg. Now your leg has to stay stable. It's kind of like wobbling around here. It's not going to stay stable. So toes, shins in, thighs back, arm in. So you're holding that in place. So you're making a midline here, and now I'm rotating. Left hand comes to your heart. Left and right are different in our bodies. Both need love. So rotate the torso up, breathing in, nice deep breath. Find that edge first, then lift your left arm up and stretch your left arm towards your right toes that hopefully are still engaged, that you haven't gone sour with your foot. Still engaged. Hug in, arm to leg, leg to arm, stretch. Nice deep breath. And then taking the left arm all the way back down, let it walk. Because it seems like this is an impossible thing. Like, how can I possibly reach my toes? But when you begin to do it this way, you begin to realize, oh, it is accomplished. We can accomplish this. I can actually do this. So hand to foot, foot to hand, rotate, nice deep breath. Breathing in, and then release that and come all the way back to center. Let both legs go straight out again. Our friend, Dandasana to Paschimottanasana, lifting all the way up and then coming forward. Stay with a flat back to begin with. Engage your belly in, breathing in, and then when you've come to the edge of your flat back, then round. Bring your head down towards the floor and breathe. Nice deep breath. Couple more deep breaths and then release and come all the way back. And from here, let's do our final twist by bringing the right foot, the left foot forward. I'm not mirroring. Left foot across, left hand onto the knee. You're hugging hand to knee, knee to hand, and allow that to begin to lift your spine all the way up. Left hand onto the floor helps that as well. So we're lifting all the way up. Find your edge. And then there'll be variations to this. This may be where you are. You're going to rotate in. If this doesn't seem like enough of a twist, you're going to lift your right arm across, elbow to the outside of the knee. Hand goes down towards the floor. And if that is not enough, you're going to keep it up. Elbow to knee, knee to elbow, and find your twist. Stay upright. Don't go back down. Lift. Keep lifting. Nice deep breath. Get your right toes to work as well. And then bring it all the way back to center. Both legs go straight out. Right leg crosses over. Left hand now onto the knee. Same thing. We're lifting all the way back up. If you know that you're the kind of person that can bring your leg across, then do that. I didn't mention it on the other side, but hopefully you did that on your own. That's another variation, lifting all the way up. So you're going to hold to here. This is a pose that you are still working on. Hold here. If this is not enough of a stretch, you're going to lift your left arm, cross it over, and lift all the way back up. And if that is not enough, you're going to bring elbow to knee, knee to elbow, and find your twist. And again, it's about breathing in. It's about finding your center, letting the pose work through you. Let your breath move. Good, and then release and come all the way back. So find your way onto the floor, all the way onto the floor. You can do a little bit of a knee in towards your spine, press your knee away, find that low back curve if you can, pressing your knee away and then just bringing it in, letting your knees rotate all the way around in one direction and then the other, and then find your way all the way onto the floor, pressing into your head, moving the arm bone up toward the ear and back, and then just settling everything onto the floor and breathing in. So allow yourself to find that space, connecting to the earth, connecting to your breath, feeling the joy of being alive, feeling the breath move through your body. Crescent moon, almost swallowed by the blue sea of dawn, present to those who wish to be pierced by its light, to unfold the day in the grace of its blessings. Just allow small movements to come back into your fingers and back into your toes. Let your knees float up into your chest and hug them in, gently rocking from side to side. And then continue the side roll all the way up into a seated pose, bringing your hands to prayer position at your heart center. And together we will do one Om. So take a breath in. Om. May we have peace in our heart and peace in our mind, and true and everlasting peace on this planet. Namaste to all out there. I am sending you my love. Namaste.